Indonesia is reeling from a catastrophic earthquake and tsunami that struck the island of Sulawesi on Friday. The full scale of the destruction is still unclear. We have team coverage of the devastation, beginning with Kim Hutchison.
Across Indonesia, a desperate scene after a deadly quake and tsunami left a widespread path of destruction. The death toll now tops more than 800 people, and Indonesian officials fear that number will likely climb even higher. That's because rescuers are desperately digging through the rubble, searching for survivors.
A baby boy in a drainage ditch actually was alive and was safe. Can't find the parents, but managed to not perish in that.
On Friday, a 7.5 magnitude quake struck an Indonesian island and triggered a powerful tsunami. Cell phone video captured the moment the tsunami came ashore. Officials say the tsunami unleashed waves about 10 feet high and sent people running for higher ground. Indonesian authorities estimate that 2.4 million people were impacted by the disaster, and even the Red Cross is having a hard time reaching those who need it the most.
Roads are damaged, bridges are down, so it's hard enough to get into the major urban areas, but it's even more so difficult to get into the more remote, rural communities, rural areas, small towns that are farther inland.
Hundreds were severely injured, and thousands who survived are now homeless and struggling to find basics like food and water.
It's a very grueling, it's a very emotional experience for everybody that's involved, and it's still not finished.
I'm Kim Hutchison reporting.
Hardest hit by the killer waves and the shaking earth was the Indonesian city of Palu. The search for survivors is desperate. Matt Rivers reports from Sulawesi.
The situation in Palu and surrounding areas continues to get worse at this point as rescuers try to do their best to reach those people trapped underneath the rubble. This is they're trying to get a broader assessment of the total damage in this area because so many places at this point are inaccessible to rescuers. So really, even though we have official numbers, official death tolls, hundreds of injuries that have been reported, we do expect those numbers to go way up at this point. We know that at least 800, more than 800 people have been killed so far. That's going to go up. We know that well into the hundreds of people have been injured. That's going to continue to go up as rescuers get more and more access to the areas that have been affected. The big thing here, though, is going to be trying to create greater access for rescuers. Roadways continue to be blocked. Landslides have been a huge issue. The airport really hasn't been operating in this area, both to commercial and even military flights. Some military flights have gotten through, but certainly not the kind of aid that is needed for these people. So it's really all about access at this point, and also bringing in that kind of heavy equipment that is needed by rescuers to try and get people out of the rubble. This, of course, becomes a much easier job during the daylight. It is, of course, evening right now. Hopefully rescuers can be aided when the sun begins to rise, but clearly, given all those issues I just talked about, in addition to the fact that there's a lack of food, water, and health care in this area, authorities have a major challenge in front of them as they continue to work desperately to try and save lives. I'm Matt Rivers on Sulawesi in Indonesia.
Pope Francis is mourning the Indonesian tragedy. Sunday, he remembered the victims.
Prego per I defunti purtroppo numerosi, per I feriti e per quanti hanno perso la casa e il lavoro. Il Signore li consoli e sostenga gli sforzi di quanti si stanno impegnando a portare soccorso.
The Pope invited pilgrims to join in praying the Hail Mary for those affected.